Yo guys, how's it going? In this tutorial we're going to solve this medium LeetCode challenge. So it was gonna be interesting to me, so let's do it using Python. Given an integer array nums, rotate the array to the right by k steps where k is non-negative. This is pretty important, so k doesn't have to be negative. So let's go. There are two examples. So because we want to understand the question first, we don't really want to do any coding stuff. First of all, we have to understand the challenge, and we have to understand how we can solve it without programming first of all. Okay, so the input is this and the k is 3. So when the k is 3, the output should looks like this. So we're going to look at this list because nums is a list, so and k is a 3, and then the output is gonna be kind of 3, the last 3 with the rest of the nums, because now we're gonna explain how. So as you can see, it's this nums, which is a list. It has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 different elements with a 6 index, because the index gonna start from 0. So, and we have the k, which is 3, and then where we're gonna see the output should looks like this, which is gonna start from the index of actually 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if the k was 3, the output need to start from index of 4 5 6. But how I think, I mean, every programmer is gonna solve this challenge in their own way, but how I think was like this. I was like, okay, because it's 3 and in it just start from the last 3 and the remaining of the list. So what is the index of 5? The index of 5 can be 0 1 2 3 4, or can be -1 -2 -3. So programmers have their own mindset and have their own ways to solve this challenge. The way how I think was like that. I was like, okay, so if it starts from 5 6 7 and then remaining of the list, and the index of 5 from the negative side is -3, and there is a connection between -3 and 3 here, right? So I go to the second example. I was like, okay, this nums has this list with 4 different elements with a k value of 2, and the result gonna start from 399 and then the rest remaining of the list. Okay, so as I told you, because it's 3 again, what is the index of 3? The index of 3 can be 0 1 2, or can be -1 -2. So how I think, I was like, okay, if the index of 3 is -2 and the index of 5 is -3, and we see that there is a connection between -2 and 2 and -3 and 3. So I was like, okay, let's do it. I was like, so if we're going to get any nums list as an argument, and we get the k value as an argument, definitely, so the way how we have to return the output should looks like -k up to, like, for example, 3 is gonna be -3 -2 -1, and 2 is gonna be -2 -1. So -3 until the 0, but not the 0, and then we're gonna return the rest, which is remaining of 1 2 3 4. So as you can see, this is gonna be like that, because k is 3, so it's gonna, the output looks like -3 -2 -1, then 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2 3. I'm talking about indexing in Python. So if you guys don't know what is indexing in Python, you have to read some articles related to that, or go to the documentation, or just go to YouTube and search on it. So you have to know what I'm talking about right now. If you don't know, just go and search. And there is another things in Python called list slicing, as I know, list slicing Python, because you have to know algorithm for solving this kind of question, right? So list slicing like that. Actually, I'm gonna go for a sag or flow here. I think this one gonna explain better. Actually, yeah, this is list exciting. So slicing. So a list a start to a stop. This is the, I don't know what to call this using, I don't know what to call it in English. So a start this one, and then there is no value here, a there is no value here, stop. So what does that mean? That means every value you put between these, if the first one gonna be a start and the second one gonna be a stop. So I'm gonna show you what exactly does it mean in this challenge, because I'm gonna use that list slicing to solve this challenge. Okay, so as you understand, what is my mindset to solve this question? Now we're gonna actually write some code. So the first part, we have to make sure that k is not 0, and the k is not 0, and sorry, the k is not negative or 0, doesn't matter, and we have to uh, actually divide nums with k, and the value need to be 0. Okay, so I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go for nums equal with len nums. Then I'm gonna calculate, first I'm gonna calculate the nums length, and then I'm gonna be like, what I'm gonna do. So when I calculate that, now I wanna find out the k equal with k len, where is it, len nums actually, and then I'm gonna be like, if k equal to 0, return. So this part doesn't really matter. So why I say that? Because right now we're not in the challenge yet. We're trying to make sure that first we're gonna find the length of the nums, because nums is a list. So for example, the length of this num is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 elements exist, so the length is 7. And then find out the k value, and then try to divide the length of the nums and the k, and then if their divide result was 0, try to return. So we're actually trying to find out if the k was 0, don't do nothing, right? So, and then you're gonna see what I'm talking about in the next line of code. So this part is not, we're not inside the challenge yet actually, but we write that because we want to make sure that k is not 0, because if the k is 0, if the k is gonna be 0, there is no we don't have to rotate anything, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go for example, I can go for start index minus k. Why minus k? Because as I told you in this challenge, we have the list which is nums, and it has 7 elements, and if the k is gonna be 3, is the k is gonna be 3, the output need to looks like -3, -2, -1, and then the rest, right? So the start of the index need to start from -3. So this is k, which is 3, but if I'm gonna put just k, is gonna be 3. The index of 3 is 0 1 2 3 4, but we don't want that. We want 5 6 7. So what is the index of 5? As I told you, the index of 5 can be 0 1 2 3 4, or -1 -2 -3. So the index of a the start index need to be minus k, because -3 -2 -1, right? So minus k, the start index is minus k. K is 3. What is minus k? Minus k is -3. What is -3? -3 is 5. As you can see in the output is 5. What about in this one? K is 2. What is minus k? Minus k is -2. What is -2? -2 is 3. What is the output? The start output, the start index of output is 3. So the start index needs to be minus k. The second option, we're gonna be like, we can create a variable with any name. Actually, I want to make that name kind of meaningful. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm thinking like what name to put it. I'm gonna be like, for example, start starts elements, for example, start elements equal with. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use list slicing in Python, a start to stop. Now you're gonna understand how does it works. So I'm gonna be like, nums start from start index. Okay, but I'm not gonna write anything for the stop. Why? Because for the start elements, I want I want to store the start elements only the start elements, which is, for example, in this case is these three, and in this case is these two, right? So that's why I don't want any stop. I don't want kind of anything right now. There is no stop, there is no nothing. Now you're gonna understand why. Because when I say a start index from here, a stop, there is no stop. So the value of the start elements is gonna be actually minus k. So minus k is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1 in this case. Minus k is minus 2, minus 1 in this case. And then I'm gonna be like remaining. I don't know I'm writing it correctly or not. Remaining elements. Hopefully I'm writing it correctly, maybe not, I don't know, doesn't matter. So remaining elements is gonna be like nums. Now that I have the start index, I don't want a start from index anymore. So I'm gonna be like a stop from index. So it's gonna be start index. What does that mean? That means a start whole of the nums index. That means 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, for example. But do not write a start. Do not write this index. What is this index? This index is minus k. What is minus k? Minus k in this case is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. What is minus k? Minus k in this case is minus 2, minus 1. So what I mean by that, as you can see here in list slicing, we have a start and a stop, and we have a start and we have a stop. So the first value needs to be start, the second value needs to be stop. So it's like that. So here actually I already said start elements need to be this. A start value is a start index, which is minus k, but there is no stop value. But here, because we already have the start index, we want to have the rest, we want to have the remaining. In this case the remaining is this, in this case the remaining is this. So that's why I said, okay, do not start from minus k anymore, because we already have the start elements. Try to start from everything which is inside the nums except a start index. So when you arrive to the start index values, just stop. That's it. So the next thing is gonna be like nums, and then equal with, for example, okay. Now when I say nums, nums list is list slicing. When I say there is no stop, there is no stop, that means whole of the value of the nums, whole of the elements which is exist in the nums, whole of that. So whole of that is equal with start elements plus remaining elements. So right now what I already said, okay, I want to rewrite the nums elements, because nums is a list. I want to rewrite whole of the nums elements, but in the way how I want. So I already create the start elements variable and the remaining elements variable, and I want to rewrite it. So I said, okay, you know whole of the elements which is exist, whole of the elements which is exist in the nums. And then he said, okay, yeah, I know. But I said, okay, now try to rewrite it and try to equal it with start elements first, then remaining elements. Okay, pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy. So right now, if I'm gonna run it, I wanna see if we're gonna get any error or something. We get error. What's the error? Integer argument has no bit, blah blah blah. So for example, last exit input. So integer object has no attribute this start elements this. Okay, there's a problem here, which I don't know what's the problem. We're gonna see. First of all, I don't want any. Alright, so and we have the nums, and it say the integer object has no attribute get item. So solution that rotates. The type error is integer object has no attributes. So it's the problem is exactly here actually. A start element and definitely here. I don't know what's the problem here, which we're going to find out actually. So what I'm gonna do, because right now I have no idea what's the problem, I'm gonna see if I can get any information in Fellow or any other website or any example. I'm gonna find the one which has green like a tick or something. So means that you are attempting to apply the index operator on an integer, not a list. So okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so here, okay. So because what I can do right now, I can make sure that it's nums right now. In this case, I'm gonna make sure that it's, for example, list. I wanna see if it's gonna work like that or not. Okay, I wanna see if we're gonna get any error, which we're going to get definitely. But it is the second one or it is the same one. So let me see the solution of this actually. I'll not do this. Look here. Okay, we don't even need to write a list actually. We can go for this. What about now? So we make it to list and then we try to use, okay, we get another error. The other error is invalid syntax. So what's the problem right now? The syntax is not the way how it should look like, because what is this here? Mm-hmm. Line tet line. We just need to read some of these, find out what's the problem. Use a different variable name inside, looks like a list comparison. Da 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 da. Object this. Let me see if I can find better solution which I can understand easier, because right now I don't really get what's the problem, and maybe it's a silly problem definitely, but I want to see that. uh, Mastering Python. Let me read it by myself. Maybe it's a silly problem which I don't get it. Noms. So noms is this, and this is length. Okay, that's the problem. We already update the noms. So what I can do actually, I can do like noms len, and right now it's a len of the noms, and then now we use the noms. I think now it should work. Actually I have to update that one. Wait a second. I have to update this one. I did update this one. What about now? Okay, now it works. Okay, so the problem was actually, because this is the programming life, right? So we're gonna make a silly problem every second, and because we're human we make mistake, but it's about problem solving mindset. So I read this article, and the article was telling me that okay, it cannot, actually even the error was telling me the same. Let me show you. I'm going to come back here, come back to the first location. Whole of this was silly actually. Right now look at the error. First of the first first I first time when I see this error I didn't get it. What does it mean? I search on Google, I understand that okay, there's a problem in integer, because we're trying to use indexing and slicing stuff out of integer. It has to be list, right? And I was like, okay, why integer? Noms is list. Noms supposed to be list. But I was like, we already changed the noms value to the length of the noms. So the length of the noms result is gonna be integer. So that's why I already changed this to the noms len, and then try to update this one to this one, and then now it's gonna work, right? So the problem was that list slicing and indexing, it's for list, it's not for integer. And before we already changed the noms from list to the lenonums, which is integer. That was the problem. But anyway, now we use run, and then we see that okay, the first case works, the second case works as well. And then what about if we run it, we submit it? You see, if we submit it, we're gonna be like, okay, we already submitted correctly, accepted. So as I already explained, and you already got, what you learn is challenge. You learn first of all to don't give up actually. So uh, I'm recording this video, so I don't really supposed to get any error, right? But the thing is that uh, we're human, we make problem, we have to fix our problem, never give up. And what you learn is in this challenge, list slicing, list indexing, and how to think in a way that solve this kind of challenges. So if you know already algorithm, and you know already Python syntax correctly, in a correct way, you already need to be able to solve this challenge anyway. Because if you know list slicing, and you know list and indexing completely, 100% you're confident in that. So the way how you think is gonna be different. But if you know algorithm, you can solve this challenge. If one time you couldn't solve this challenge, you have to make sure that okay, what's the problem? The problem is that I don't know list slicing, I don't know index of each list, I don't know what is index. So you have to learn those first and then come back to challenge again. So, and in this challenge you learn list slicing, which I explained to you, and you learn the way how I think, and some programmers thinks in another way. But the way how I think was like, okay, if the k is 3 and then the output is gonna be 567, which is 3 value as well, and then the index of the 5 is -3, so there's a connection between 3 and -3. That's what I said. I was like, okay, and start index is -k. So but the way how you think is different from me, the way how other programmers think is different from everybody. So that doesn't really matter. And the thing which is matter is about knowing the concept, having the knowledge, and knowing the basic algorithm. That's the thing which is matter. Alright guys, and you learn how to solve the bug as well. I mean, the thing is that it is super small bug, error, whatever you want to call it. But in the big project, it's completely same. You're gonna make a silly problem, silly mistake in your syntax sometimes, or even in your the way how you write your algorithm. So you're gonna make a silly problem. Sometimes you're not going to get any error, but the, the, the way how the web application or the software need to work, it's not as expected. So because the way how you write that code, the way how you think. So because we're human, we make mistakes. But the thing which is important is to be consistent. How did I be how I was consistent? I see the error. I kind of get confused, and I was recording the video. I was like, why I have to record this video, and right now I get the error. But what I didn't understand the error. I searched the error in the Google, and even right now you have ChatGPT, right? Right now, like if you have ChatGPT 4, it just takes 1 second for you to solve this challenge. Okay, so that doesn't really matter which tools are you going to use to solve challenge, programming challenge. The thing which is matter is be consistent, because you will find out the problem and you will find out how to fix it anyway if you are going to be consistent. But what I didn't use ChatGPT before. I searched on Google, I read the Stack Fellow, and then I understand what exactly error means and what it's just trying to say to me. So I solved it. So you learn a lot in this challenge. If you want me to record this kind of challenge more for you guys, just comment me below and subscribe me definitely. I'm gonna put a lot of LeetCode challenge, and it is top interview 150 question. This is the medium challenge. We're gonna solve easy and hard challenge definitely as well. Alright guys, take care, goodbye.